Hello and welcome to the Awesome 180 channel. I am Ashton Doctor, your habit coach, and today I'm going to be reviewing this Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma. If you haven't seen it, please do watch it. It is absolutely fantastic. It was so scary. It lit so many bulbs in my mind. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe that this is actually happening. Remember, if you like content like this, please don't forget to hit subscribe and the little bell icon next to it. Now, I had read a lot about this earlier on, about 2 years ago, when we were talking about how social networking apps and websites were designed to make you get addicted, to make you get hooked, and make you want to scroll and scroll and scroll more. But this documentary took it to a whole new level because in the last 2 years, so much has changed. And what has changed, interestingly, is the way that we and our mindset is changing towards the kind of information that is coming from these social networks. Right? We've heard about fake news. We've heard about how social media is instigating, standing up, fighting against different classes of people. And why it's all happening is actually described so well in this one documentary. Now, let's first understand what social media is, why was it created, and why is it addictive. So what's interesting is that when these companies began creating social media and these apps, it was always designed with a good purpose or with a good cause. People thought that they were bringing people together. And that is true. You know, the number of times people have found organ donors, found their loved ones that they had lost on Facebook and all these websites is fantastic. And my heart goes out to those moments. But what's happened over time is the way that these websites have started forming their information, evolving just the same way as we do. And what is critical here is that there is an engine. It is a power behind it that is actually creating content, pushing out content that is tailor-made for you as an individual. Now think about that. Your feed on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube are completely different from that of your friend. Even your closest friend with the same interests will have a different feed from yours. Why is that there? Because what you like is being tailor-made for you by an algorithm, by an AI, artificial intelligence. Its basic job is to try and hook you on and make you stay on that app as long as possible. Now, we can't really blame them. Every single company wants to do that, right? Every single company wants to sell you more stuff. So it is not a dilemma on is it ethical or not. Of course, that is one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is what can be done. Has it gone out of hand? And how can we as individuals protect ourselves? So I am not doing this video as a stand against social media. That is not the point of this. I'm not doing a video against we should rise up against social media. That is not the point of this. Because half the time I'm going to tell you to follow me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, because that is the way that we can communicate and use it well. So the idea is, how do we use it correctly and not use it in a manner that is damaging to us or damaging to society. So one is that most of our decisions that we're taking nowadays is based on the information that we have gathered from somewhere. Earlier on, that somewhere used to be the schools, it used to be our parents, it used to be our close friends and our social structure. Now, that information is coming directly to us and our mind every single day through the apps that we use. So if there is information that's coming, and if that information is guiding our behavior, our way of thinking, that means that we should first figure out if that information is correct or not. And half the time, most of the content on Instagram, YouTube, etc. like this is user-generated. Now, user-generated content, how are you going to know if it's coming from an authentic source or not? Like even this video, how do you know it's coming from an authentic source? How do you know that I'm an authentic source? You trust me because you listen to my podcast, you follow me, fine. But there are so many aspects to this. And we come across videos that look so convincing that it must be true. All our conspiracy theory videos, all of that, we look at them so convincingly that must be true. And they're made so well, like far better than I make my videos. So, it's interesting to see how our mind is now getting fudged, or our mind is now getting convinced about things that we never possibly thought about or even believed in. But now, because it's presented in a particular way, we believe in so strongly. The second thing is addiction. How we can't just put this phone away. How whenever we want something, immediately we pick it up. Like there's this beautiful quote in the movie where the scientist is laughing and saying, you see, the question is whether you pick up your phone and check your email or messages before peeing or while peeing. Why do we take our phone to the toilet? It's crazy, right? So it's so interesting that this has now become woven into our culture. We call it pot reading, right? Sitting on the pot and reading, or pot scrolling. So it's woven into our culture now. Good thing, bad thing, time is going to tell. But there are ways in which we can protect ourselves and at least protect our style of thinking and our mind. The first big rule of thumb is all notifications off. Your phone should be on 0 notifications. If you want, you can put it on DND mode, which is do not disturb, and only allow important family phone calls to come in. I mean, talking about phone calls off, right? WhatsApp messages definitely off. Facebook definitely off. Instagram off. YouTube off. Recommendations off. Everything off. No notifications. Your phone should not be allowed to tell you when it wants to talk to you. You should be the one who chooses when to talk to your phone, when to use your phone, when to listen to it. So notifications off. The second one, which is a far more nuanced point, is very often when we are on these social media websites, we fall into a rabbit hole, right? We go deep and tunnel deep into this hole where we suddenly are convinced of ideas that we didn't think existed. Because now we've seen 15 videos about it. But what is important for us to do is to train the AI, which is the artificial intelligence, and our mind to show us different kinds of content. So if you realize that you're watching 5 pieces of content about why cholesterol is bad, do 5 content on why cholesterol is good. Just so that your mind is open to different ideas and is open to different points of view. See, as your habit coach, I never want you to lose 2 things. Your sense of curiosity and your ability to see 2 sides of a story. I have seen people getting into heated debates because they just could not see the other person's side. What is that doing to humanity? What is that doing to the way that we behave and function as people? So understand that we can train our systems to see both sides of the coin and then make a judgment call. Make a personal call or no call at all, whatever it is that you want. So whenever you realize that you're falling into one side very, very strongly, pause and say, let me see what the other side is saying. And listen to the other side with as much conviction and as much of an openness as you did this side. Then make your call. Okay, so no notifications. Look at both sides of the story. And finally, the third thing is put a limit to the amount of time you spend on your phone. Now, most of our phones are coming with these well-being apps which tell you that, okay, you've spent so much time on YouTube, you spend so much time on Instagram, you spend so much time on Facebook, cut down the time. And, I've done lots of podcasts on this because I believe that this is one of the hardest things to ever give up, more than alcohol or smoking or anything, is your phone addiction. So what I want you to do is I want you to set your timers. I will not spend more than an hour on the phone. Okay, how are you going to divide that hour? And what you're going to do about it if you do break it? So start creating these rules for yourself. Don't make it something that, like, if you were spending 4 hours on the phone, now you suddenly spend 1 hour. That is setting yourself up for failure. If you spend 4 hours on your phone, make it 3.5. Then make it 3. Then make it 2.5. So start reducing it that way. Don't do something dramatic that is going to shock the system and you're going to feel deprived and hence go out and search for more. The point of this is Social Dilemma. It's an amazing documentary. Please watch it. It's going to open your mind to so many different ideas. And this whole thought of fake news and how fake news is spreading 13 times faster than real news does, especially on Twitter, right? So it's crazy. Watch it. And then learn that, okay, I don't necessarily need to fight the system, but I can protect myself. And learn how to start protecting yourself. Because this is something that is going to be pervasive. It is something that's going to be there forever. It's not something that is going to be banned tomorrow and hence we don't have to worry about it anymore. We have to learn to live with it and we have to learn to thrive with it. So your 3 habits that I spoke about today, one is notifications off. The second is look at diverse pieces of content, opposing content. And thirdly, set a timer so you know how much you're going to be using each app for, so it doesn't become like 6 hours of time spent on your phone. 6 hours, can you imagine how much time that is in your life that you're going to be spending on the phone? It's quite crazy. So start doing this and you will see a huge change in the way that you approach friends, in the way you approach yourself, and the way you approach your thoughts. And that is ultimately what I want from you. I am Ashtin Doctor, your habit coach. And remember, awesome lives, they start with all these kinds of small awesome habits.